Hey guys, what's up? Coattail Trader here, bringing you Friday, May 24th, 2013's action. A couple things before I get started. You have to forgive me. For one, I'm sitting outside, so you may hear a little bit of wind or feedback in the microphone here. And two, I am using some different screen software. I'm remotely connected through another computer, so I don't have my little yellow pointer here, so you're just going to have to kind of follow my mouse here. So I do apologize for the noise. This is also a weekly wrap up too, so at the very end I'll go over where we are for the week. Now I haven't looked. Just a fair warning, I haven't looked at the rest of the charts after about 11. As you'll see here, I was done trading pretty early, and I was doing some other stuff. So let's get started. So you can see here, and again, all these lines were drawn before the market opened. Like I said in my last videos, I usually get up about 5 o'clock in the morning, drawing my levels and wait for the market to open. So you can see here, the market immediately opened right by my level, bounced off it, and a long was triggered right here, right at the open. I took this one for a point, so I got out right over here. You can see here, price then proceeded, it broke through my level. Now you'll notice here, I have these standard deviation bands on here. The theory says that the further out of the bands the price goes, the more likely it is to revert back to the mean. So here is it's about 50-50, I would say, maybe 60-40. But as you can see, it did so nicely. No trade was triggered here, and then you had a short entry right here, which worked out. I got in and I was out. So by about 10 after 7, 6 after 7, I was done trading for the day. So immediately when that happens, I only go for 2 points a day. I go right into sim mode and I just practice and trade in simulation mode. A lot of, yes, I miss a lot of opportunities, but I'm not a pro, so I like to limit my risk. So, but for the rest of the day, you can just see, it's just amazing how much price respects these levels. I mean, you can see this one right here. You had a bounce, could have got in for a point here. You had close to another bounce. My rule on the bounces is I won't take it. It has to come within 2 ticks of the level for me to consider it a bounce. So I don't even think this one would have qualified for me. Let's see, 34. No, oh yeah, 2 ticks. So I would have been able to get in right here. Anyway, so you can see price bounced off this level right here, and so the interesting thing about this candle is I took this trade in sim mode, of course, but so my rule is I always go for limit orders, and I always go 1 tick above the close to try to limit my risk. So I would have got in, I would have had my limit order at 37, which would have been filled, and I would have been going for 36. Now you can see price only went down to 36.25, 3 ticks. Again, one of my trading rules is, since I'm only going for a point, when price gets 3 ticks and it touches it, as soon as I see the 0.75 on my dome, I immediately go to break even, just in case, because I've seen it happen too many times. Price snaps back and it'll hit my stop. So I'd rather get out for just losing the commission, not losing any other money, than losing a whole my whole trade. So you can see price. So I would have been stopped out here. This actually would have triggered a trade right here. And I don't remember seeing this one. Like I said, I was busy kind of during the day. So I would have gotten in at 39.25, right? No, I would have gotten in at 39 even, going for 40. And that would have been another break-even trade there. Here's another one that would have been triggered, 37.50. Again, another break-even. So 3 break-evens in a row. Only losing the commission, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things. I mean, you're talking a few dollars, so I don't mind losing the commission. Here's another trade that would have been triggered in, and let me see if I would have been stopped out. Nope, I would have made it. I would have been okay on this one. Let me see, but I don't know if it would have hit before that. Going for 40.50 here. Oh, I would have actually got my point. So that would have been a win right there. I didn't come back into the market till sometime after lunch, my time. So there would have been a nice one. Here's your bounce trade right here. Would have been triggered in long right here. Obviously, you can see that would have won. Here's a nice little bounce trade. Here's your candle signal right here. That one would have worked out nicely as well. Let's see what else do we have. Nothing. See, now it's coming down, but even though this could be considered a bounce trade, it's way too far away from me to consider it because it's still got room to go down to this level. I've found that these levels act as magnets more often than not, so I don't want to fight the magnetism. So that would not qualify as a trade for me. Now here we go. Here's a nice one. So look at it, and here's another level. Just look at this. It touches it 1, 2, 3 times. Can't do it. This would have been a bounce signal. You could have taken it right here. Would have been a signal. Right here would have been a signal. I don't think it would have been. I would have been stopped out had I taken this one. Let's see. 5. Nope. So that one would have worked. And then here's another signal too, right here. Another bounce. So you can see it tried to get above it, broke it, but couldn't stay. And then I came back in. Let's see. Here's another one. Now you could have taken, this would have been a bounce signal had you taken it. I believe this probably would have, you probably would have won on this one. Down to 44. Yep, you would have been, that would have been a nice one. Nice bounce. Here's another long right here, which would have worked out nicely. And now this one, I believe would have been a loss, because here is a signal right here. And I think I actually took this one, if I remember correctly. No, I came back in at noon, right about noon. Yeah, so I was in about right here. So, but let me look at this one, because I didn't look. Let's see. Would I have been stopped out? Nope, I wouldn't have been stopped out here, but I don't know if this is where psychology kills you. So when you're in a trade like this, I would have got in at 25, okay? This is how psychology gets you. So you see price go all the way back up here. It doesn't stop you out. Comes all the way back down to your price you got in at. Now, do you get out for just a wash, or do you stay in and see what happens? Now you can see eventually it came back down, but that would have been, I would have been stopped out before that happened. So this is a tough call. And I came in and I saw this candle. I came in, it was about, I still hadn't been here. I came in exactly about like 12:01. So I was in like right here, I think. So that's a tough call. I don't know. I can say that I would have gotten out for break even, but with the psychology, sometimes I'll say, well, I watched it go all the way up. Do I really want to, get out? But I'm scared. I trade scared. I mean, they say not to, but you can't help it sometimes. So I probably would have just gotten out had I seen it come all the way up to here. Now if I had done that and got out, this would have been a long signal for me right here, which would have worked out. Now I did take this long in sim mode, just because again I didn't really pay attention to what happened back here. As soon as I got in, I was looking. I'm like, okay, boom, here's a signal, take it, and you're good. And then now here's another interesting one. So price comes down. This would have been a bounce play right here. Price comes down, breaks through, can't close, can't do it, still can't break. Now this would be an entry candle. Now for me, again, see it comes outside of the band. I always wait, but I do have a rule, another rule. If price crosses my level more than a point, usually I don't wait for confirmation, another confirmation. Now with this one though, when it being outside of the Bollinger or the deviation band, I would not have taken it, and I didn't, and I let price go. I didn't get in any of these. Now you can see at the end of the market, it broke through our level. Now this one right here was the trigger. Again, now right here is interesting. There's two reasons why I wouldn't have gotten in this trade and I didn't get in this one. First reason is it's halfway out of this deviation band. A little bit more probably. So that's one X. The second X is, look at the time. It's 1 o'clock on a Friday before the market closes for a 3-day weekend. That is just, that's just very risky. I've seen at the market close price go up, 5 points and then snap back in a matter of a minute, 2 minutes. So I would not have gotten in this one. Obviously, of course, in hindsight, it would have worked out, but we wouldn't have known that. And then you can see the very last candle, price closed above this level. So on Tuesday when the market opens, we'll see what happens. But the interesting thing is it did close the gap from yesterday. I think it closed it almost exactly. So that's it for the daily. Now I think, let's look at a weekly chart and kind of see where we're at here. And you have to forgive me, I can't get these lines off of here. I should have brought up a clean chart to do that. So if you'll notice, you can kind of see, if you notice the bands here, price is outside of the bands. It started coming out about right here, and we've been up for 4 weeks in a row. So you can see it wanted to, but it actually closed lower. I wouldn't be surprised if next week is a down week. Just because it's due not for a major downfall, but I think it's due for a little bit of a pullback here. We really haven't had any decent pullback since when is this? This is November. So we're kind of overdue. Not for a huge market drop, but I think we're due for some kind of a fall. Let's take a look at the dailies and see where we're at here. Okay, so on the daily chart, you can see that we came outside and we've already pulled back. We broke down, but we didn't come back towards the mean, and we didn't come back down. I still think we need some more down stuff. You can see again when price gets closer, it comes down. We really haven't had a decent pullback since here, and that's April. So I feel that there's going to be some down days next week. Maybe not significant, but there's going to be some. Well, that's it for now. As always, I appreciate you watching. Please visit my website, coattailtrader.com, and follow me on Facebook under Coattail Trader, and follow me on Twitter at Coattail Trader. Thanks. Have a great week.